You killed my sister. You know you did it. Ain't nobody got to lie on you. You killed my sister. Look at you just sitting right there looking guilty as because he's guilty, y'all. Look at his face. Look at his face, y'all. Look how guilty he is.
DeKalb police have launched a search to track down a man who shot and killed a young mother. Family members tell us Raisha Hurd was ambushed and murdered at her parents' home on Kelly Chapel Road.
A mother gunned down in her driveway, her 9-year-old son witnessing the unthinkable. The alleged perpetrator? Her ex-boyfriend, a rapper with a history of violence. How did this horrifying event unfold? He was a rising rapper with an image to protect. She was a loving mother trying to build a better life for her children, but behind closed doors, their relationship was a nightmare. On October 11th, a quiet suburban neighborhood in DeKalb County, Georgia, became the scene of unspeakable violence. Raisha Hurd, a 31-year-old mother, was gunned down in broad daylight, right in front of her 9-year-old son. She was 7 weeks pregnant. The details that would emerge would paint a picture of a relationship marred by abuse, culminating in this devastating act. But this isn't just a story about a murder. It's a story about the insidious nature of domestic violence, a story about the devastating impact it has on families, and a story about a search for justice. The family told news reporters that Raisha had broken up with Lewis, a rapper who goes by the name Mad Music Cali, because he was abusive. Her sister, Rhonda Hurd Dickens, stated, "This is a person who has mistreated her for years." This wasn't a sudden outburst. This was a pattern. A pattern we'll explore in detail. What warning signs were missed? What led to this horrific escalation? And what role did social media play in the aftermath? With Lewis even brazenly liking a wanted post about himself. In this video, we'll unravel the events leading up to Raisha Hurd's murder, the subsequent investigation that led to the arrest, and the devastating impact this tragedy has had on her family. We will examine the red flags, the missed opportunities, and the chilling details that reveal a disturbing pattern of violence. This story has a twist you won't see coming. Welcome to Mind Twist True Crime Stories, where all our stories are based on true crimes. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel. Hit the notification bell icon so you won't miss any of our latest stories. Raisha Danielle Hurd, born on April 27, 1992, was a devoted mother of 2 young boys, Rajai and Riley. Her family remembers her as a kind-hearted and warm individual, always putting her loved ones first. Her brother, Ralph Hurd Jr., fondly recalls her beautiful personality, stating, "I'm gonna really miss my little sister. She spends time with her kids when she is not working, doing fun stuff." She had a very close relationship with her family, especially her dad. One time she flew him out to Miami to celebrate his birthday. At 31, Raisha was expecting her 3rd child, eagerly anticipating the joys and challenges of expanding her family. She was working a job she loved. Her older sister, Rhonda Hurd Dickens, reflects on Raisha's nurturing nature, noting how she treated everyone well. She adds, "To know she kind of went through an experience where she wasn't treated well, it's hurtful. It's very hurtful." Tragically, Raisha's life was cut short by senseless violence. On October 11th, 2023, while unloading groceries in her parents' driveway in DeKalb County, Georgia, she was fatally shot multiple times in front of her 9-year-old son. The alleged perpetrator was her ex-boyfriend, Justin Renee Lewis, known as rapper Mad Music Cali, whom she had separated from due to his abusive behavior. This devastating event has left her family in mourning, grappling with the loss of a woman who had so much more life to live. Her niece, Rastarja Hurd, recalls the chilling aftermath, stating that after the shooting, Lewis was on social media, going live as if nothing had happened. She adds, "I actually posted that he was wanted and we were going to find him, and he liked it. He liked the status." This wasn't just the loss of a single life. It was the loss of a future. A future for Raisha. A future for her unborn child. A future for her family. But who was the man suspected of taking her life? What was their relationship like? And what series of events led to this horrific outcome? The answers are far more complex and disturbing than anyone could have imagined, because this wasn't a random act. This was allegedly committed by someone she knew, someone she had been in a relationship with. But there is a dark side to their relationship, a side that Raisha's family claims she struggled with for years. a side that ultimately may have cost her her life. Justin Renee Lewis, from New Orleans, Louisiana, known in the music world as Mad Music Cali, was more than just an artist. He reportedly started rapping at a young age. To those closest to him, he was controlling, manipulative, and dangerous. Raisha Hurd, his girlfriend of several years, endured emotional and physical abuse that few outside their circle knew about. Little did she also know that he had a shady past. But there was something else, and I will reveal it as we go along in this video. Something that had happened years before, that would cast a long shadow over this case and raise even more disturbing questions about Justin Lewis's past.
2020 been a fucked up year. Coronavirus got these niggas out here walking in fear. Yeah, damn, I ain't see this coming. It's like the whole world changed by a push of a button. Yeah, you can see the pain in my eyes. When they killed George Floyd, it was hard to compromise. I was in the streets when that shit got televised. Now I keep the heater cause I gotta stay alive.
He previously lived in New Orleans, but he told Raisha that he moved to Atlanta to further and promote his music career. And luckily, he met with a handful of top-profile rappers in the music industry. On spotting a top artist, he would jump into freestyling right in front of the artist, trying to get his attention.
This ain't South Central, but we menace to society. My old dog taught me how to get away with rivalry. I'm a convict, I can't be part of no democracy. Before I turn state on my brother, I cop a plea. What a real love at, don't wait till they retire me. Same niggas up in my pictures, they probably plot on me. I see what niggas do for their clout and know the royalty. Kick the plot on your queen, I take the coat at it.
That was nice, man. Already.
Mad Music Cali, MAD.
One time, he accused Youngboy the rapper of trying to jump him while he was trying to freestyle for him. Raisha's family described Lewis as someone who mistreated her for years. Despite his outward charm, Raisha's sister, Rhonda Hurd Dickens, later shared that Justin had a history of manipulation and violence. For Raisha, leaving him wasn't just about protecting herself. It was about safeguarding her children. But Lewis wasn't ready to let go. Their relationship became more toxic with every passing month. According to police reports, Lewis pressured Raisha to terminate her pregnancy, refusing to acknowledge he could be the father of her unborn child. And there's more. According to a police report, Raisha's mother informed authorities that the child's father, whose name was redacted but later revealed to be Lewis, allegedly opened fire on Raisha's car a few months prior to her murder. Thankfully, Raisha wasn't injured in that incident. Lewis later told her to her face that the reason he didn't shoot her was because the clip on the gun fell off. I could imagine how she felt, knowing that someone she loved wanted to take her life. She didn't report it to the police. Maybe she thought he would change, and besides, she was carrying his baby at the time. This incident, which was reportedly not reported to authorities at the time, now takes on a much more significant and ominous meaning in light of what happened later. It shows a clear escalation of violence, a warning sign that tragically went unheeded. These incidents raise a crucial question. If there were these prior instances of violence, why wasn't more done? Why wasn't Raisha protected? Despite years of abuse, Raisha eventually decided to break free. But walking away from someone as volatile as Lewis wasn't easy. As Raisha began rebuilding her life, she confided in her family about her fears, hoping the worst was behind her. But leaving an abusive relationship is rarely easy, and in Raisha's case, it appears to have had devastating consequences. In one of our videos that centered around domestic violence, someone commented saying, "Always make sure to move to another city after a breakup, especially when you break up with a toxic partner." If Raisha had moved, would it have saved her life? Do you think Raisha's decision not to report past incidents played a role in this tragedy? But the worst was yet to come. Justin Rain Lewis wasn't going to let her go without a fight. What happened next would shock even the most seasoned investigators and shatter a family forever. October 11th, 2023. A day that began like any other would end in unimaginable tragedy. A day that would forever haunt a family and a 9-year-old boy. Raisha Hurd was returning home. She was simply unloading groceries from her car in her parents' driveway on Kelly Chapel Road in Decatur, Georgia. A routine task, something millions of people do every day. But this ordinary moment was about to be shattered. According to reports, Justin Renee Lewis allegedly approached Raisha in the driveway. And then, the unthinkable happened. He allegedly shot her 7 times. Twice in the back, once in the chest, leg, and head. 7 shots that ripped through the afternoon calm, forever changing the lives of everyone involved. Luckily, the camera on the doorbell at the house recorded everything that happened. Perhaps he would have denied it. But the true horror of this crime lies in who witnessed it. Raisha's 9-year-old son was there. He saw everything. He witnessed his mother's brutal murder, a trauma no child should ever have to endure. The quiet suburban street was transformed into a scene of chaos and despair. Neighbors and family members rushed to the scene, reacting in shock and disbelief. Imagine the terror, the confusion, the sheer horror of that moment. Emergency services arrived quickly, but it was too late. Raisha Hurd succumbed to her injuries at the scene. Her life and the life of her unborn child were tragically over. But the story doesn't end there. In the immediate aftermath of the murder, something disturbing came to light. Something that would raise even more questions about Justin Lewis's state of mind.
DeKalb police have launched a search to track down a man who shot and killed a young mother. Family members tell us Raisha Hurd was ambushed and murdered at her parents' home on Kelly Chapel Road. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor has the story from the neighborhood where the shooting happened.
The Hurd family has lived here on Kelly Chapel Road in DeKalb County for more than 40 years. They have lots of fond memories, but they will never forget what happened here Wednesday night. DeKalb police say someone ambushed Mom Rashida Hurd as she and her family were getting out of the car and started shooting. The gunfire was so pronounced it could be heard across the street where Yolanda Bethea lives.
It was 6 shots. I knew it was a gun. I knew it wasn't a firecracker. The next time I looked out the window, that's when I started seeing the police cars and the ambulance and stuff.
We saw evidence of the violence, a bullet hole in the rear of this white Lexus parked in the carport. Family members are so devastated they are too upset to talk about the murder. Sources close to the investigation tell us Rashida was pregnant and her 8-year-old son watched in horror as his mother was gunned down.
Yeah, it is.
The bold violence has just stunned neighbors.
And we have 2 small kids here, so I was like, not in our neighborhood. I didn't think that would happen in this neighborhood.
While Raisha's family grieved the loss of their loved one, Lewis was reportedly active on social media, making posts and even liking a post about him being wanted by the police. A detail that would further enrage the family and add another layer of complexity to this already tragic case. DeKalb County Police immediately launched an investigation into Raisha Hurd's murder. Given the alleged history of abuse and the family's statements, suspicion quickly fell on her ex-boyfriend, Justin Renee Lewis. He became their prime. Justin had both motive and opportunity, but tracking him down proved far more difficult than identifying him. Justin had vanished, leaving little trace. Authorities were racing to find him before he could disappear for good or strike again. While Raisha's family mourned, Justin was doing something shocking, broadcasting himself to the world by going on live. He was later seen going on Instagram Live with an Instagram personality who asked him about the allegations, but he denied. In another live, the sister of his ex-wife was accusing him of killing her sister.
Crazy how everybody try to bring you down when they really don't even know what's going on.
So the girl who got killed, that wasn't even your baby mama?
Nah. The one from now, like the one that they saying, it could have been a possibility, you feel me?
So that was your current girlfriend?
I ain't got no girlfriend at all. You feel me? Only thing is my wife. That's the only girl, you feel me, that
right.
Ever, my wife.
You killed my sister. You know you did it. Ain't nobody got a lie on you. You killed my sister. Look at you just sitting right there looking guilty as because he's guilty, y'all. Look at his face. Look at his face, y'all. Look how guilty he is.
Notice when I kept saying, you killed my sister, you killed my sister. He never once denied it and say I didn't do it. I didn't think that he had the guts and the audacity.
Justin's behavior wasn't just arrogant, it was calculated. Investigators knew he was watching their moves, staying one step ahead. Days turned into a week, and still, no arrest was made. For Raisha's family, every moment felt like an eternity. But then came the breakthrough. After 10 days of relentless searching, police located Justin in Forest Park, Georgia. He was arrested without incident and taken into custody. The man who once flaunted his defiance on social media was now behind bars, facing the charge of malice murder. For Raisha's family, the arrest brought a small measure of relief, but it was only the first step in a long journey toward justice.
I'd say the past 6 weeks or so, she made a concerted effort to pull away, put her foot down, attempted to get a temporary protection order. She was trying. It's been very, very much a relief for our family to know that he's been captured and we don't have to be in fear of him or any antics.
This wasn't the first time tragedy had followed Justin Renee Lewis. A history of violence, a pattern of destruction, and perhaps a system that failed to intervene. Before Raisha Hurd, there was Sydney Dalcour. In 2017, back in New Orleans, Sydney, Justin's ex-wife, was found shot to death in her car in New Orleans. Family members immediately pointed fingers at Justin. They described a relationship marked by violence and abuse, eerily similar to what Raisha endured. But despite being a suspect in Sydney's murder, Justin was never charged. The case went cold, and Sydney's family was left without justice.
So she was married to Justin for 5 years. He was really abusive to her. He fought her a lot. Like, he gave her black eyes. He put her in the hospital. She had to have staplers in her head. Like, say if she get, like, pretty and stuff, he a fighter for that.
You killed my sister. You know you did it. Ain't nobody got a lie on you. You killed my sister.
He then moved to Atlanta to start a new life, going about his business like he did nothing until he met Raisha, who didn't know anything about his past. Unfortunately, if the authorities did their job and apprehended him when he committed the first crime, Raisha would have still been alive today. Beyond the police reports, there's the raw, agonizing pain of a family shattered by loss. The loss of a daughter, a sister, a mother. The loss of Raisha Hurd. But amidst their grief, Raisha's family has found the strength to speak out. They are determined to turn their personal tragedy into a call for change. They want to raise awareness about the devastating reality of domestic violence. They emphasize that this isn't just their story. It's a story that's repeated far too often. It's a story that needs to stop. They want to protect others before it's too late, before another family has to endure this unimaginable pain. The statistics are alarming. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, NADV, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. During 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million women and men. Domestic violence doesn't discriminate. It affects people of all ages, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds. It's a pervasive problem that often goes unseen, hidden behind closed doors. Raisha's family's message is clear. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please seek help. There are resources available. You are not alone. Justin Renee Lewis was charged with malice murder in connection with Raisha's death. This is a serious charge, carrying severe potential consequences. He was booked into the DeKalb County Jail. As of the information available at the time of this video's creation, he remains in custody awaiting trial. The legal process can be long and complex. The outcome of the trial will ultimately determine Lewis's fate. If convicted of malice murder, he could face life in prison. But even if justice is served in the courtroom, it won't bring Raisha back. It won't erase the trauma her son witnessed. It won't heal the wounds of a grieving family. This case raises important questions about prevention. Could more have been done to protect Raisha? Could the system have intervened earlier, given the alleged history of abuse and the prior incident with the gunfire? These questions are not meant to place blame, but to prompt reflection, to encourage us to examine how we can better support victims of domestic violence and prevent future tragedies. This case also brings up a very important point about the previous allegations against Lewis in the 2017 death of his ex-wife, Sydney Dalcour. Although he was a suspect, he was never charged. How does this prior incident influence the current case? Will it be admissible in court? And what impact will it have on the jury's perception of Justin Lewis? Our heartfelt condolences and prayers are with her family and friends during this difficult time. May her memory bring comfort and strength as they grieve. We sincerely hope they find the justice they seek. Raisha's story is a call to action. It's a reminder that we must do better, we must be more vigilant, we must support victims, and we must hold perpetrators accountable. This story is not just about Raisha's past, it's about our future. It's about creating a world where no one has to live in fear of violence at the hands of someone they once trusted. We encourage you to share this video to raise awareness about domestic violence. If you or someone you know needs help, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline or visit thehotline.org. You are not alone. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences, if any, in the comment section. Your voice can go a long way in helping someone out there, and every voice matters in the fight for justice. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative and impactful, please like and subscribe for more important stories. Thank you for caring, and thank you for helping us keep Raisha's story and memories alive. Kindly check out our other videos, and until next time, stay safe.